Hello, everyone. I am Jessica Martin with Martin Management. I am your expert in addressing dental anxiety and creating a dental spa approach to your office. And I am so excited to have Emily Hayden here with me today from ScentAir. Hi, Emily.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great. So this is so cool because a huge part of what we talk about with Martin Management and training teams and how to address dental anxiety, is the sensory system. And scent is one of the hugest components of the sensory system that really can have an impact. So Emily, when we met, I was really excited to what you guys can do because I think it can make a huge difference in regard to the patient experience. So I'm going to let you share with us what is ScentAir, what kind of services do you provide, and how can it impact the patient experience in the dental visit?
Yeah, so I am one of the account executives at ScentAir, and what we do is we fragrance the air, we add scent and aroma, as well as we clean the air. And we are the largest fragrance provider in the world, servicing over 40,000 different customers. And with the dental facilities and the clinics, we really like to focus on decreasing patient anxiety. We increase positive online reviews, we decrease cancellations, and we increase mood of the patients up to 40%, just because you are more emotionally attached to fragrance. And so when they walk into your facility, it can make or break their experience. And, with certain scents, it can really enhance their ability to trust your practice.
I love this because this is one of the first things that I wanted to tackle with my husband's dental practice. When I wasn't here on a daily basis, I would walk in and just feel that wall of dental smell, and I just didn't like it at all. And none of his team would notice it. I'm like, can you guys smell that? And they're like, no, it's just normal because they're so used to it. But for the everyday patient that isn't here all the time, it is really a powerful smell and not a pleasant one. So I love it that you can address that and really make it so much better. You and I had talked before this too about how it can even have an impact on people's pain control or their pain tolerance. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so at ScentAir, we actually have a statistic that we use at a lot of our clinics, and it's from a study from the New York University and Medical Center, and they discovered that patients actually exposed to the smell of lavender reported a higher satisfaction rate with pain control. So certain scents can bring in better feelings to patients. Your mood increases 40% when you smell something that you like, and that is more likely to help you feel a little bit better about the place that you're in, and more likely to help reduce the idea of even thinking about that pain, because a lot of pain is that emotional aspect and the neurological that you have to get past.
For sure. Yeah. That's so cool. Can you tell us, I'm sure we can even think on top of our heads too, like what are some brands that really have like a signature scent, or that, you would think of like that company? Like I think of Abercrombie and Fitch from, I don't know
Yeah.
if they still do it, but like you would walk in and that scent was actually, I mean, it was good, but it was a little overwhelming to me. But like what are some other like common, brands that everyone would kind of be familiar with that have a specific scent associated with them?
A really good example is the Marriott hotels as well as the Westin. When you walk into those, they're all branded with ScentAir. And why they do it is because a lot of their customers and their guests are frequent flyers of their locations, and they want to make sure that that experience is consistent from any location that you travel to. And when you can't control the smells of the hallways of the building, or things like smoke coming in from the outside, that does defer the brand, even if people don't think about that it could, especially if that's their first time ever being in a Marriott hotel and the only thing they smell is the smoke or a weird smell that they're getting. Um, their perception of that company actually goes down based on just feeling uncomfortable. It's that fight or flight of, the first two things you notice when you walk in the room are temperature and smell. And if those things aren't completed in someone's mind, they don't feel as safe and they have a lower perception of the company.
Yeah, that reminded me of when I think of going to visit somebody at the hospital. Not that you can do that right now with COVID, but when you could, I remember being like, "Oh, a hospital." I don't want to say it. It just, there's a certain scent, and it's just
Mhm.
not pleasant. So, yeah, big hospitals need to hire you guys. I'm sure you have some big hospitals too that have figured that out. That people really dislike that, and
Yeah,
avoid.
and we find specifically with like MRIs, even in hospitals and medical settings, there's a lot of anxiety that goes in between, just being in that claustrophobic type setting. It's so tight. And with the smell of vanilla, it actually reduced that anxiety and that claustrophobia up to 63%. So scent is really powerful, and it's hard to see it without actually implementing it into an area and seeing those results, but they are there, and it's really awesome to see it when it does happen.
Yeah. And I know in the past, I've always thought of, modifying scent in the dental practice, using essential oils and things that, I don't want to say smaller scale, but, within a room or, not something that would maybe permeate through the whole building. So talk a little bit about what your capabilities are, because yeah, you can scent a whole Marriott hotel, right? So that's obviously different than diffusing in a waiting room or whatnot. But so yeah, talk a little bit about what that can look like for a dental office that's maybe looking to have, that smell really go throughout their whole building.
Yeah, we do small to extremely large. We do, the small clinics to casinos. And how our systems work are we have small portable systems that can go on tabletops, and they're able to scent about 1,000 square feet, and they just have little cartridges. And we go all the way up to HVAC systems. And with our HVAC systems, it's able to disperse basically anywhere in the practice that you want. On top of that, we can also add ionization, it's called. And what it does is it removes 99.8% of airborne pathogens, as well as harmful VOCs, any of those chemicals that are coming from certain, just different parts of the practice that are coming off of like the implants, or any sort of particles that are coming off of buzzing and drilling, as well as it removes allergens. It really helps with keeping people safe, keeping your employees safe, and making everyone feel comfortable as well.
Yeah, that's so important right now with COVID and all the concern about aerosols and whatnot too. So that's great,
Right.
great consideration. So I have from Emily sent me some lovely it's like a tea tree and something. I can't remember exactly what's called, but it smells so good. Um, how many scents do you have? Like, I'm sure you maybe don't have an exact number, but like roughly.
We have over 3,000 cents.
Wow.
I only carry 100, but we have over 3,000. And we also make custom scents as well.
Cool. So I know Emily, we both are in Wisconsin, which is kind of cool, but ScentAir is a national company. So for dental practices anywhere in the nation, I'm assuming they can utilize ScentAir if they are interested. And I know you do, like, what do you call them? Scent tryouts or something, where you would go to an
Yeah, so we
office and
do scent samplings. We have a ton of reps across the United States and globally that can bring their scent samples, and you can scent sample and check out the practice. We do the scenting based on a few things like the decor in your clinic. It actually does make a difference if you had, blue decor with maybe an ocean smell versus orange, right? It's just trying to match up the best to your practice. And when you can do scent right, that's when it has the best effects and the best results.
Yeah, I loved that when we had our initial conversation. I honestly had never thought about, I mean, I talk about colors and how important color is in, mood and creating a calm atmosphere, but I'd never really thought about how, like my wall is brown, but so putting like orange with that might be confusing or just a little bit in conflict with the color I have around me and, throughout my office. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, and we find a lot of the times, a lot of scent can go in different areas, but the higher quality the fragrance, the more likely people are actually to not notice it. It's more of that subliminal noticing. When you walk in, you get that first impression, and then it goes away. Sometimes you find with fragrances, you can get heavier ones where you notice it that entire experience, and it's almost a little agitating. whereas we really focus on that quality of the fragrance, and it builds and makes sure that everyone feels safe, comfortable, it's allergen free, and it's really the best solution for adding fragrance into your location.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned that there are certain places that you wouldn't want to work with because they want such a bold smell, and that's not really like what you want to go for in terms of the experience for the client.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. For sure. So you wouldn't be an Abercrombie.
No, well, just some of those heavier scents and the brighter and the more powerful it is. We like to keep it more subtle. When you walk into a Marriott or a Westin, you notice it, but it's not overwhelming. It really adds to the experience. It doesn't take away.
For sure. Awesome. Well, Emily, did we miss anything in terms of what you want to share today with any other dental professionals that are watching that are like, this sounds great. I really want to address that nasty dental smell at my office. Anything else that you'd want to add?
I think the best thing for practices out there is to try it. When you have fragrance or you don't have fragrance, the biggest thing we see is when people say, "Oh, well, we just don't need fragrance. We're doing fine without it." But it does a lot, right? It increases revenues. It increases patient referrals. The more likely they feel safe and comfortable, and this goes with your business as well, they're more likely to refer others to the business, and that helps grow it. So yes, you can have a fragrance free facility, but adding that extra little addition to your clinic really brings it to the top and really can help you increase your patients as well.
Yeah, wonderful. And Emily, if anyone would like to get a hold of you specifically or look into the company, how would that work with the best for you to have someone reach out?
Yeah, so they can reach out directly. My email, we can link it within this video, but it's ehayden, HAYDEN at scentair.com. You can also reach out directly through the ScentAir website. Call Jessica to call me, whatever you can do. Feel free to reach out directly, and I would love to assist and help you.
Awesome. Well, I think between the two of us, we're going to just tackle one dental practice at a time and make it so much more enjoyable and a better experience as we go along and be able to offer all these great things. So thank you so much for joining me today, Emily.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Take care.